Soundtrack running. And full out, Newer. Gets us underway. Perry Baker chasing hard and a knock on. So Kenya will have the first scrum.
Well, they just have so many options, Scotty, when this guy is on the field. You can see already they go to him from kickoff because he's so influential. Look at that all-time try scorers. Perry Baker right up there just behind Zach Test. He was good, wasn't he? Zachy Test.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Feed is made by Eden Agero. And Samuel Oliek sets the ball nicely. Amwande, the captain, offloads in contact. Billy Odiambo was there, and Perry Baker stood his ground. But the ruck had formed, so he was obligated to come back around the other side.
I was just thinking, Scotty, last season, these two teams were always in the cup. Well, I shouldn't say always, but predominantly in the cup round, and now they find themselves in this trophy semi-final. It's just amazing how many teams have caught up and made it so even this series. It's unbelievable.
So many wonderful results for the US last year on the World Series. Things can change, not just year to year, but week to week, as we have seen. Wide ball, out on the right-hand side. Eden Agero cuts back in field. Dummies one. Splits the US defensive line. Amone trying to set. He will win the penalty. Craig Joubert, the referee, plays advantage. Sakuta. Turn it back to the left-hand side. Missed tackle, bad pass, and advantage done. Big bad Danny Barrett picks it up. Duratello offloading. Perry Baker now trying to find some space. Upended, chopped down. Duratello loses the ball, and Sakuta gets a fend working. Thomason went too high. First try of the match goes to the Kenya.
Well, sloppy by both teams, to be honest. In terms of ball security, Perry Baker had the ball, tried to pass it off to Danny Barrett as an inaccurate pass. Duratello couldn't fall on it, but it comes up to Daniel Sakuta. Strong fend on Thomason. A good start, Kenya. You would have liked that, Willie?
Yeah, you're right. Sloppy play from both teams. And it was just a matter of Sakuta getting the ball. Big, strong, great fend as well. These Kenyans are a lot bigger than you think, especially the upper body strength of a lot of them too. The weights program is certainly working. And I heard you boys were giving me a bit of grief about my biceps.
It was an observation, not a criticism, Willie. An observation.
You're top heavy, Jim.
I'm just heavy. Back for this is Newer. Coming across in front of him was Thomason. Newer stayed back. Duratello. Super Rugby experience last year, Andrew Duratello. Perry Baker. No Super Rugby for him. Just super speed. Perry Baker down the sideline and will hit it under the bar. US strike back.
Honestly, this bloke needs very little space, Perry Baker. I just love it when he backs himself. He just goes. And just, he's so quick across the ground, so smooth. Look at him, that's the 5-metre channel. The way he's able to swerve in and swerve away. No touch. Balances down the sideline. That is a beautiful shot of a beautiful athlete in full flight.
Eden Agero showed him the sideline, and he took it with ease. I was about to mention earlier that when he ran past me to get on the field, I thought, immediate thought is thoroughbred. He's just like a beautiful horse that can run like a greyhound, and he has got gas to burn.
Yeah, I want to go 3-12, put 10 on the nose.
Yeah.
Perry Baker, outstanding.
Do you know what's so great about being Perry Baker? He can go home and say, I just outran a whole lot of Kenyans this weekend. How many people can say that?
Down left.
Ball taken in by Billy on the arm ball.
It's just tackler, clear release.
Penalty infringement from the US. Just around that tackle ball area. On the outside was Sakuda. And Falau Nua has the ball, starts slapping them away.
No.
Inside their 22, they attack. Here goes Barrett. Barrett tried to get the pass around the outside. Was it touched by a Kenyan? Possibly so. Baker sets. Good clean out from Andrew Duratalo.
Clean out effective.
And that
Hand
will be
on
another
after the
penalty
rush
for the United States.
Yeah, good work from Perry Baker, the slider man. And I think it was Samuel Oliech, who's a lot bigger physically, but this guy bought a lot of time for a support play and won the penalty. It's well done by Perry Baker.
Isn't it tremendous, Scotty Stevenson, about the game of sevens and its growth? It's apparently one of the fastest growing sports in America, and you can see why.
Thanks.
Because the skills that are needed, also the athletes that they do have there. The game is in very good hands of athletes like Baker and Isles are actually going to make the transition.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it yesterday, but one of the key growth areas for the game, and Madison Hughes would attest to this, is at collegiate level. University programs growing every year. Sevens is a big focus as an Olympic sport. The 15s game as well. Certainly alive and happy. Club level, flourishing. And the women's game flourishing also. Danny Barrett, look at him. He's got some swagger. Takes it to the line, draws the Kenyan defence. There's some space on the left. Just can't find a way to get it back out there. And it's slow and arduous. Now Hughes. Works a cut in midfield, gets the return ball. It's good work from Hughes in partnership with Martin Yosefov. Now Danny Barrett again. Doesn't even bother trying to sidestep Danny Barrett.
No clear release. No clear
Penalty
release.
after the half-time whistle. Big chance this for the States for the go-ahead play. Hughes drops it. And Craig Joubert will blow for half-time. Two-point lead for the US, 7 points to 5.
Which one's crying? Marty Veal.
And that one goes dead. That's unorthodox, and all the way back we go.
It just seems this game at the moment, no one's really taken it by the scruff of the neck. The USA don't look enthusiastic whatsoever, very slow. Do this reset. Andrew Duratalo just talking to his troop. Madison Hughes needs to step it up and get his boys going.
I think they're a team that operates best when they're playing the game at pace. And when they're using their intuition and their instinct.
Yeah, they're fine.
Especially with the likes of Baker, Madison Hughes, Thomason's another one. They just need a spark, this USA team. Thomason now finds Barrett on the outside.
Tackle all right, Lashy?
Barrett's the only player in sevens who actually looks for someone to run into. Now the kick for Perry Baker to chase. And Collins Njera's the man tracking back for Kenya. Needs to get back to his feet, loses control of the ball, but win the penalty.
Never onside.
He wasn't behind the high most, unfortunately. Yosef was a good option by him using the kick. I like that matchup though. Collins Njera, Perry Baker, the two number 11s.
Eden Aguero. Zodiambo in turn, the captain Andrew Amonde gets the pass. He's allowed to carve off plenty of metres. A late cut worked with William Bucker. And the defence was good, and the US will win the ball.
Thomason doing the naughty work in the middle there. Willie, turnover, well done.
Yeah, it was just drifted across, didn't he? But let's not forget too, guys, that Mike Friday actually coached Kenya for a number of seasons, so he knows a lot of these players, and hence the reason why he's asking his team to play a specific way.
That's a good point you make. Starting to see more and more of it on the tour, aren't we, as well?
Yeah.
Coaches that have been round 2 or 3 in some cases, different countries. Hughes trying to pull the strings for Yusufu, and Yusufu will set play. Kenya contesting. The offside line was being toyed with quite substantially on that occasion by Kenya. I don't even know if that makes sense.
Just a little bit slow there at the breakdown with the USA. They try to reclaim it. Falau Niua getting caught playing their ball on the ground, using his feet to kick it. Look at that domination and passes completed though, Scotty. No real joy for it.
Kenya through Collins and Jera. Stopped and started. Just gave the defence something to think about. Cutting back in field was Daniel Sekuta. And Jera once more involved in the play. Odhiambo shoveling it on to Eden Aguero. And they work a similar move each time they've got the ball. Madison Hughes thought he had it, and he did not. Odhiambo again, taken down on the halfway line. Apart from the fact this game has been played pretty much within the 10-metre lines, and the mistakes keep getting made, and that neither team's really attacking, it's a pretty good game to watch. Oliech sets again. Sense that almost in slow motion. Danny Barrett now was made to look like he was in slow motion. There is the try. And Kenya break the deadlock.
Billy Odhiambo was too. A noted try scorer, the number 5 for Kenya, but they don't mind playing in these short corridors. The Kenyans are quite good around the rucks with these short passes. They went time and time again down those channels, and finally someone decides to take the kick. That's the mismatch though. A winger on a forward. Billy Odhiambo against Danny Barrett in short spaces. There's only going to be one winner, and that's the bloke with gas.
I think the other factor too to take into consideration, Scotty, is the wind here. It's very difficult, and I think that what they've spoken about, the Kenyans, is playing in those short channels, not having to throw the big wide passes that could actually go backwards. And that's a great mismatch, and that's a wonderful try.
Kenya successfully converting the try. So 2 tries to 1, 12 points to 7. And you feel for Danny Barrett in that situation. That's one thing we do know about these Kenyan players, is they have an uncanny knack for a very, very patient build-up. This one has gone deep again, and this one will take touch around 5 metres out from the line.
Oh, sorry, Scotty, a perfect kick by Kenya. Look at them, 5 metres out, or 10 metres out, sorry, from the USA line. USA throw, yeah, short, but it's under pressure for one. If there's any mistake, Kenya will pounce straight on it.
Throw is lofted in. That is not the time for a lollipop.
Advantage, high tackle.
And Mbaka now flung to the ground around the neck, so Craig Joubert playing a high tackle advantage. Sekuta managed to get the ball away. And now advantage comes to a close. They won't need it anyway. Billy Odhiambo back to back.
Yeah, thanks.
It's not just there. He had every chance to actually blow his whistle and bring it back and give them the penalty. Instead, he opted for the advantage. And once the mismatch was on, Odhiambo picks up a brace.
Billy Odhiambo, Strathmore Nairobi club, debuted in Port Elizabeth back in 2012.
Yes.
And this is 30th tournament. Closing in on 300 career points, Billy Odhiambo. Full time. Goes out on the full, so US with one last chance. The game is gone. The result is inevitable.
first switch,
Hughes. Sit in midfield. That's a better run. Paddy gets the offload to Thomason. It's knocked back by Kenya, but Paddy back to his feet straight away. And we will have a minute into referee's time, a yellow card on Collins and Gira. Thomason flings it to the right, more hopeful than anything else. Baker turns it back. Duatello. Paddy again. Hughes. Paddy gets it back to Hughes. Carlin Isles was there in support. He'll have to clean out here.
Advantage.
And a further advantage to the US. Straight through the hands of Duatello. They'll come back for that penalty.
Clear release on your feet.
Scotty, talk about the USA taking their same lineup for all these games. They looked tight in this one, didn't they?
Absolutely. Madison Hughes will get one.
Yep, that's fine.
They get the try. It won't be enough. Kenya will go on to win this game. And Madison Hughes gets his 57th career try. And as easy as you like, look, you're right about, I think these players are fatigued.
Yeah, well, you see the head clash here with Bush and Wale. One of the other Kenyan players head on head was not nice as Madison Hughes went straight for the call for the medical staff. Yeah, good finish for the USA, but you're right, Scotty, just a lot of yards for this team. And they have to reset for next week.
Madison Hughes is away. 2 Kenyan players receiving medical attention. Craig Jabir blows full time on the game. That'll do it for the United States for this tournament. Kenya will advance to the final of the trophy. And it looks like everyone is finally back to their feet. Still one down. So there may be a small delay for the next game. As it stands, Kenya first into the trophy final.